I think the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we've been talking about the basics of the business. We've talked about the sponsoring process. We've talked about retailing products. We've also talked about how to become a director and also how to build the right attitude to build your business. So today I want to discuss with you three things. One, how to follow up on your prospects, and two, how to close them, and then three, how to get in touch with a system that allows your business to grow with or without you. One of my dear friends, uh, Jackie Kyo, sent me a very, very nice quote. She says, "If it needs you, it's a job. If it runs without you, it's a business. If it grows without you, it's an empire." And the thing that helps you to build an empire is a system. So I want to spend some time discussing with you this follow-up. What is follow-up? When you've spoken to a prospect and the prospect hasn't made up their mind, you need to follow up with them, because I think all the people who've been in the business for quite a while know that very few distributors or very few prospects make a decision on the spot or make a decision quickly. Those are the 1% success people who make decisions quickly and stick to those decisions. So if you find somebody who makes a decision quickly, be very glad. That is likely to be a really great leader in your business. The average person makes a decision after 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 8 times you follow up. That's when they make the decision. So let's talk about follow-up. There's a saying in our business that the fortune is in the follow-up. Follow up with prospects or customers to find out what their decision is. Number one, what is the goal of our prospecting? What is the goal of approaching people to look at our business or our products? Our goal is education. Our goal is not to convince people, okay? When you're new in the business, you may think that I need to convince that guy how. In fact, I remember when we started the business, I saw what the business could do immediately, and I was very excited about it. I was so passionate and focused, and I would speak to people, and they wouldn't see what I'm talking about, and it would really frustrate me. How is it that they don't see what I'm talking about? But slowly, I began to realize that this business, anybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. It's for those people who want to dramatically change their lives. And they'll only be able to do that when you take your prospects through an education process. That means you expose to them the business at various steps or stages. So your goal is to educate the prospect. The second thing is we need to act as consultants, not salespeople. I think the sales profession has got a bad name because a lot of people think that salespeople are very pushy. So act as a consultant, not a salesperson. In fact, treat the business as a farmer does their piece of land, because a farmer knows that 3 principles for growing crops and getting a harvest. Number one is sowing. If you don't sow, you don't reap. Number two is the principle of delayed gratification. You have to wait for a whole growing season. And number three, if you sow one seed, you don't harvest one. Otherwise, why would you sow the seed? So you sow one seed and you get 100-fold in return. So those are the principles you need to think about when you're prospecting. Act as a consultant. Find out what your prospect needs. And that leads to number three, ask the questions to reveal your prospect's need. What does your prospect really want? It's important for you to find out what your prospect's need is. When the prospect has seen the business, there are 4 questions that you need to ask your prospect for you to get an idea on where they are in the decision-making in the decision-making process. When they've seen the business, ask the questions. What did you like most about the business? Or what did you like most about the products? Is it the business or a product or a bit of both? The second question, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in terms of making a decision to start? 1, mildly interested. 10, you want to start now. Or ask the prospect, when do you want to start the business? The other question, let's say your prospect is called John or Kamau or Ouko or Kazungu. How much monthly income would it make it worthwhile for you to start? I have noticed that question really takes a lot of people aback because they have never been asked that question. They actually avoid answering that question because it forces them to think about what they really want. Okay, so how much monthly income would it make it worthwhile for you to start? Let me say the same. If I'm earning another $1,000 a month, it will be worthwhile. Next question. How much time per week would you invest to reach $1,000 a month? Or if they say 500, how much time would you put per week to invest to reach that level of income? Because of your experience, you can tell them, yeah, I think that's a good idea. I think if you spend 5 to 6 hours or even 8 hours a week, you'd be able to reach that income in a year's time or 8 months' time, depending on your consistency. So these questions are there to help your prospect to come to a decision. The other thing you need to notice, the average person decides after 4 to 6 exposures for the prospect to actually make a decision. Are you going to get objections? Yes, you're going to get very many objections. Some people say, I don't have time. Well, all of us have 24 hours. It just depends on how well we use those 24 hours. Some people will say, I don't have the money. Well, in my mind, that if, for example, if you offer somebody a brand new car and tell them, go and look for $70 to start the business, and that car is yours, they will go and look for it. The only difference is that they don't have a strong incentive to look for the market, for the money, sorry. Some people will say the products don't work. Some people will say the products are too expensive. Some people will say this is a pyramid scheme. All sorts of excuses, all sorts of objections. Actually, let me not say they're excuses. They are objections. And objections reveals two things. One, the limiting belief in themselves. They don't believe that they can become successful in this business. The other category is the limited belief in the industry or the profession. They don't believe in network marketing. So it takes time for you to get them to actually see what our business is. But a very important tip I would like to leave with you is, do not argue with your prospect. Affirm their concerns and give them an alternative. Some people might say, I don't have time. And a good way to respond, when I started the business, I also felt like that. But after training, I actually found out that if you organize your time very well, you can do this business. So don't argue with the prospects about the objection they've raised. Just agree with their concern and feeling and show them a different alternative. That's the best way to respond to your prospect. Okay? Now, about having a follow-up system, there's something I want to share with you on the screen. It's just a simple idea on how to organize yourself so that you can, just one moment, let me just stop sharing first. If you want to organize your prospecting process, let me share with you. This is an example. You can speak to your leader, let them show you how to organize your follow-up system. But let's see this simple thing. This is a very simple follow-up system. Let me say this is your name list. The name of the person is James. You've got their phone number. The idea to do this is enables you to track how effective what you are doing. If you're not able to measure what you're doing, you cannot manage it. So Let me say the first prospect on your list is James. That's their phone number. You've invited them. Let me say you're presenting the business to them tomorrow, 15th of August. After you presented, FU1 is follow-up number 1, follow-up number 2, follow-up number 3, follow-up number 4, 5, 6, 7. If you keep doing that, you will actually see a pattern emerging from this simple recording system. Let me say your next prospect is Omwanza. That is your phone number. Have you invited them? No. So invite them and let me say you put a date on when you want to invite them to have a look at the meeting. Then the date when you present the business to them, when you make up the first follow-up, the second, the third. When they have made a decision, then of course you transfer them to another list of distributors. Okay? Karen the same, Kimani the same, Wanja, Wanyama, Kazungo, Owolabi. These are simple examples of how to track your prospects and how to follow up so that you have a very clear way on seeing how effective you are in prospecting and getting new people in your business. This is a simple system. It's not complicated, but make sure you actually have a way to record the effectiveness of your follow-up. Okay? So that is the way you follow up with your prospects. The next thing I would like to discuss with you is the business system. Why do we talk about the business system all the time? Why do we keep insisting you need to learn first, you need to learn the system. 2, you need to use it. 3, teach your team how to do it. Let me just share with you and see the things I would like to share with you about the system. All right. Why is the system very important? A system is very important because the reason why most of you join this business is to achieve financial freedom and to achieve time freedom. 2 very important things about freedom. Financial freedom, it means you can buy what you need without thinking about how much it costs. Time freedom simply means sometimes you can actually take time off your business and it grows with or without you. So, and I'd like to use a few examples to show you why it's important to have a system. Look at your body. Your body is a system of organs. You have the nervous system, you have the skeletal system, you have the kidney system, you have the neural system. Every part of your body is a system which is put together to make your life work. Look at a car. A car has got a fuel system. A car has got an electronic or electrical system. A car has a braking system. It is what makes the vehicle work effectively. Look at the big businesses like banks, Safaricom, Vodacom, the MT. This business have systems. All right. So the first thing you need to do, ask yourself, is there a system in place? Okay. We have a system. We have these weekly meetings. We have weekly presentations. We have monthly recognition rallies. Those are part of the system. Then there's a process we use to bring people into the business and teach them what to do. That's part. So the first question is there a system in place? Number 2, does your team know about it? It's very important to educate your team on the system. Number 3, does it work? Are there distributors who have been successful using the system? Okay. A few things that I'd like you to take note of. The first thing is simplicity. Why is simplicity very important? Because it leads to duplication. If what you're doing is complicated, if what you're doing most people in your team cannot do, it will pump up your ego, but it will rob your bank account. Okay? So, simplicity leads to duplication. Consistency leads to multiplication. It simply means you need to apply the system so much that the people in your team can duplicate and the business starts to grow without you. Consistency leads to multiplication. And then number 3, patience. You need patience for long-term success. This is not a get-rich-quick business. You will get very rich if you're consistent, if you're simple, and if you keep talking to people, you'll get very rich. But you need patience. First and foremost is patience with yourself. Okay? Now, what does our system constitute? What makes part of our system? If you're new in the business, just ensure that this list is something you can actually learn and apply. The first thing is your personality, your personal enthusiasm about the business. If you want to attract enthusiastic people, you need to be enthusiastic about the business yourself. So the first thing you bring into the system is your enthusiasm for the business. Two, tools. You need the tools. Use the tools as much as possible. The videos, the CDs, the magazines, the brochures, these are things that help you to explain the business without you knowing how to do it. Why is this important? This is important because somebody who is 2 or 3 days old in the business can pick up the phone and say, John, I've just started a business. I'm not very experienced, but can I send you a 10-minute video that explains what I'm getting involved in? If I send it to you, would you watch it? John will say, yes, I'll watch it. When do you think you will watch it? I think I'll watch it now because I was reading, but I can, if it's only 10 minutes, I can watch it. So if I send it to you now, you're going to watch it? Yes, I'll watch it. So when can I call you tomorrow to discuss the contents of the video? Call me tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm sending the video. That's all the new person needs to do or learn to say. They don't have to explain. The video explains the concept for them. That is why it's very important to have tools in your business. 3, weekly business opportunity presentations. Everywhere where you are, find out from your leader, where do they have regular business presentations? Because the presentations is what showcases our business. During the presentations, be on time, dress smart casual, always carry a magazine, always carry an application form, carry a pen, because some people may make a decision on the spot. 4, weekly training events like this one. Make sure you plug into a training event. It may not be this one, it may be for your team leader, whatever it is. 5, monthly recognition rallies. Why? Because recognition is one of the cornerstones of our business. 6, annual near-life conventions. If you're in East Africa, make sure you booked your ticket to go to Dar es Salaam on the 12th of October. Make sure you book your ticket because this event is where people actually make decisions to commit themselves to the business. I've had story after story when somebody goes to a big event like this and their eyes are wide open, they see the business in a completely different perspective, and they make a commitment to take the business serious. So the annual convention, the annual team weekend rally, your various teams, for example, the Eagle team event, make sure you attend it. And then the team incentives organized by your leaders. This constitute part of the business system. Teach your people to use the business. Teach them how to follow up. And if you teach them about the system, your business will grow with or without you. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all of you very much for spending this evening with Betty and myself. I hope what we have shared with you will help you grow your business to the next level. Thank you. Good night and God bless.